Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Qatrial, a tool that's designed to solve a massive headache in really regulated industries like pharma and medical devices, the whole mess of quality management.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at a really common problem teams are facing. Then, we'll introduce this new idea of a quality workspace with Qatrial. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of how it works, who it's actually built for, and finally, what makes it so different from everything else out there.
Okay, so first things first, why does a tool like this even need to exist? Well, it all comes down to this really tough choice that companies in these regulated spaces have to make pretty much every day.
See, on one hand, you've got these massive, beastly enterprise systems. Yeah, they're powerful, but you're looking at over $100,000 a year, and they can take months to get up and running. So what's the alternative? Well, for a lot of teams, it's just spreadsheets and shared folders. And while that's cheap, it's an absolute minefield of risk. You've got data integrity problems, zero real traceability, and it is just painfully inefficient. There's this huge gap in the middle, and that's where so many teams are stuck.
So what's the answer? Where do you go from there? Well, this brings us to a whole new way of thinking about it. A new category of tool called a quality workspace. And it's built to bridge that exact gap.
And that's exactly what Qatrial is. It's a quality workspace that, get this, runs entirely in your browser. That means no server to set up, all your data stays right there on your local machine, and it's completely open source. This is a totally different approach to quality management.
And don't think this is some lightweight tool either. No, it covers all the heavy hitters. We're talking requirements and test management, risk assessment, the whole CAPA lifecycle, corrective and preventative actions, design controls, audit trails, even e-signatures. It's got all the serious stuff you need, just without all that traditional overhead.
Okay, so how does it actually adapt to your specific needs, your industry, your regulations? The secret sauce here is its really unique core model.
See, every single project you create is built on 4 dimensions. You pick the country, the industry vertical, the type of project, and then you compose it with the quality modules you need. It's this combination that makes the templates and the workflows super specific to what you're doing, and that saves you from a mountain of manual setup.
Let's break that down. First up, you pick the country. Now, this isn't just a label. You pick USA, and boom, it automatically loads templates and rules based on the FDA's regulations. You choose Japan, it brings in PMDA requirements. This fundamentally changes the core of your project. Next, you choose the vertical. This is what applies those industry-specific standards. So a medical device project will automatically get templates aligned with ISO 1345. A pharma software project will pull in concepts from GAMP5, which is, a huge framework for validating these systems.
Then there's the project type. This adds another layer of context. Are you building out a whole new quality system from scratch, or are you running a very specific product validation? This choice narrows things down even further, so you're always starting in the right place. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle. You select only the quality modules you actually need, things like CAPA management, change control, or risk. It's like an a la carte menu. This means you're building a lean, focused system without any of the clutter you don't care about, which helps your team just move faster.
So a perfect example of this in action is the workflow for design controls. Now, this is absolutely critical for medical devices. Qatrial gives you this awesome 7-stage Kanban board that literally walks you from defining user needs all the way to a released product, with clear gates and requirements at every single step.
And it's the same story for risk management. You're not getting some generic one-size-fits-all risk matrix. No way. It uses the exact frameworks and categories that your industry standards require, like ISO 14971 for devices or ICH Q9 for pharma. It's all tailored for you.
Now, because the system has all this amazing context, it enables something really powerful, an integrated AI copilot. And this is not just a chatbot. It is actively helping you with critical work, like generating test cases from your requirements, analyzing compliance gaps against standards, and even drafting summary reports. It's a real workhorse.
So who is this actually for? Who's in the trenches using this thing day to day? Well, Qatrial is really designed to be a dedicated workspace for the key roles inside a regulated company. For the QA engineers, this is their command center. It's their daily driver for running tests and, crucially, maintaining that traceability matrix. All the regulatory references and risk levels are built right in, which saves a ton of time hunting for information. And if you're a validation specialist, this is a total game changer. You can generate entire validation packages, your IQ, OQ, and PQ protocols, using templates that are already pre-populated with the right standards for your specific industry. It's a huge head start.
And for the quality managers, it gives them that all-important bird's-eye view. They can monitor risk, track the status of corrective actions, and see the overall compliance health of every single project, all from one high-level dashboard.
Okay, so let's bring it all home and talk about what really truly makes Qatrial different. It really boils down to 4 key things. First, its AI is native. It's baked into the DNA of the tool, not just some chatbot they slapped on top as an afterthought. So, when a test fails, suggestions for a corrective action pop up right there, in context. The AI proposes, and a human makes the final call. Second, and this is huge for a lot of companies, it's self-hosted. Your data, your sensitive quality records, your IP, it never, ever leaves your network. For organizations in pharma or defense with really strict data rules, this isn't a nice-to-have, it's an absolute must-have.
Third, it's composable, not monolithic. Think of it like Lego blocks. That 4D model lets you build the exact system you need. A cosmetics company in Europe gets a totally different setup than an aerospace company in the US, and neither one has to pay for or navigate through a bunch of features they'll never use.
So all this really leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? As regulations keep changing and technology moves forward, you really have to ask yourself, is your current quality system a strategic asset that helps you move faster, or is it just a compliance burden that's holding you back?